Thanks for joining us, everyone. We're Forged from Iron. I'm joined by my guests today to discuss the aftermath of the West Ham Chelsea game yesterday. I am joined by Mr. Andy Miles. How are you, sir?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. To be honest, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was bank holiday weekend this weekend. I look like a right twat. I've
You
had a
got
few
you got
beers
another
today as well.
week to wait, mate. So it'll soon get here. So
Yeah, no,
we've
exactly.
also
But I'm
got
all good.
James of From the Anvil. How are you, sir? All the way from sunny Canada.
Good.
How is the weather over there? I say sunny Canada. Is it sunny?
Well, sun's out, but it's a little bit chilly still. We had a few snow flurries the other day. As soon as it gets to May, it warms up, I guess. So
Good. And also from the Emerald Isle, we've got Cahill. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Yeah, better day than I was expecting. I was sort of expecting to be a bit more pissed off from the game, but I got through it. We all sort of got through it, but yeah, I'm grand.
Yeah, good. And last but by no means least, actually, I say last but no means least, that we've just had someone jump into the green room you might recognise. But I'll get this introduction out of the way before I bring him in. We've got West Ham Online. What about yourself? All good?
Yep, all good. Tottenham just lost in the cup final, which means if we get 7th, we at least get some sort of reward. So, yeah, not bad.
All is good. So I'll bring him in. How are you, mate?
Good evening, chaps. Are we all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. So we're going to discuss the match yesterday. So I'm just going to put it on stream. So this was the team that we put out. Now, given the injury situation, do you guys think? I'll start with you, James. Is that probably about as good a team as we could have reasonably expected to put out, in your opinion?
Well, the one thing I did like was Fredericks being in there, because I've never had anything against Fredericks. I think he's a good player. He can play as a wing back, and he's got a bit of pace on him. Bob Wennon's obviously in because Dawson's suspended. Midfield was pretty much the same. I would have personally probably put, and I'm going to start with this, I'd have possibly put Ben Rama in and gone 4 at the back instead of a 5 at the back, because a 5 at the back hasn't tended to work a lot. DAZN said it was 3 at the back with 2 wing backs, and I suppose that worked all right, but it wasn't a bad starting 11, really.
Fair enough. Duke, what about yourself? Is that more or less what you thought we were going to put out, or because there was a lot of talk about a certain Ben Rama starting in the week? There was a lot of talk on social media that he was going to be starting.
No, mate. If you want my honest opinion, I had a feeling he wouldn't start. I think that's as close to a lineup as I probably would have got. If the others had been fit, apparently Cresswell just missed being fit for this, so he should be back next week. But other than that, like you say, the high work rate of Fornals defensively anyway has got him in ahead of Ben Rama. And listen, I want Ben Rama to succeed. I really do, and I don't think I'm the only one in thinking it. But there's obviously something happening on the training grounds, that doesn't seem to be working in his favour, whether he's putting in the effort or not to try and convince Moyes that he's deserving of a starting berth. And I know the comments that are going to come within this live chat or after this has gone out, 12 starts, 7 wins, rah. Yeah, listen, there's nothing to say that he hasn't performed well in the previous starts that he's had. But as his training effort dipped, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. There's obviously something Moyes isn't enjoying seeing. So there's a reason he's not starting. But with regards to this one, listen, we went it's negative. 5 at the back, negative. It annoys me. I just don't see. It's Moyes and his. Is it Moyes and his? I suppose apparent fear of any of these so-called big sides in the Premier League. I mean, for crying out loud, we're 5th. Could have gone 4th. We're 5th, or I don't know if we're still 5th. I don't know what's going on anymore. But we're one of those, and we're there for a bloody reason. So why we insist on still going with, you know, essentially 5 at the back frustrates the living daylights out of me. I can't think that it's I can't help but think that it's, you know, it's just the way he seems to be. But in agreement with what Steve said there, yes, I can't disagree with that. And you know what, I'd say for the last 15 minutes of the first half, up and, you know, even though they scored their goal, and I'd say the first, well, I didn't get to see all of it because I was actually, you know, I was working and I kind of had it on the laptop behind my booking sheet. But from what I saw, that last 15 minutes, every time I went to the screen, we were on the ball and we were attacking. The first 15 minutes of the second half, we were on the ball, we were attacking. And we looked like we were the better side at points. So, in perspective, we just lost 1-0 to a team that are playing in the Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid. Am I right in thinking?
Yes, I believe. Yeah.
Listen, take it on the chin. It's not done us any favour, but like West Ham Online just said, you know, Spurs losing there, City winning the cup, even what we consider what would be a failure in 7th place, considering where we've just spent the last few weeks fighting for, we still get some sort of European prize at the end of a very good season for us, even if we finish 7th. So you know what, let's run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Before I move on to get Miles's opinions, we've got someone in the chat, Facebook user. So if anybody's watching on Facebook, this is how we see it. We've just got Facebook user and no avatar, no profile picture. If you want to make yourself known to us, what you got to do is you got to go to www.facebook.com/StreamYard and just click on the button there, and that will make you known to us. Because otherwise, if you put in your comments like that and like that, we don't know who you are. So if you want to be known to us, guys, and you're watching through Facebook, that's what you got to do.
Jim
Scott's
Kelly.
Also, sorry?
Jim Kelly is the
Hello,
gentleman's
Jim.
name on
Hope you're
Facebook.
well. Cool. Okay, so Milesy, same question to you. Is that pretty much what you expected, or was you expecting to see maybe Ben Rama in, or what were your thoughts when you saw the team sheet?
I was happy with the team, to be perfectly honest. I've been calling for Fredericks to be in when Masuaku isn't playing, so we have a bit more pace in the team. In my opinion, I thought he had a quite decent game. I heard a few fan cams and people on Twitter calling him useless, but don't know what game they were watching. In my opinion, I thought we had Aspilicueta on toast, to be perfectly honest. I'm fed up with. Sorry if it seems like I'm going on a rant, because I've had to take a break from Twitter for 24 hours and all that. I don't know what planet people are on. They're saying that I get what Duke's saying, that 5 on the back don't work. Yeah, I understand that. But what people have got to understand is we are playing Chelsea. Yeah, it's not like we're playing Burnley, for example. Like next week when we play them, if we're playing the 5, I will question it. But the 5 at the back helped when we won Leicester away at the start of the season. No one was complaining. When we played 5 at the back when we beat Wolves at home, no one was complaining. It's just when we lose, people have a say on it. And that, at the end of the day, David Moyes is our manager, and they shouldn't be questioning what he's doing. If I get where people have a rant, but we're fucking 5th in the table. Do you know what I mean? We're 5th. We're not fighting relegation, and they should be, instead of arguing with the fan base, they should be flipping raging at the flipping decisions during the game. Like they're saying, the thing what frustrates me is they go, "Oh, the sending off killed us." No, everyone's agreed we was in the game for most of it. Don't get me wrong, the sending off but you can't blame the sending off. That was 7 minutes before the game ended. Rant over.
That's fair enough.
I thought you articulated yourself very well there, Milesy, to be fair to you. Cahill, same.
I've got
same
more
to
coming.
you. Oh, have you? Oh, God.
Later.
Okay.
Save it up. Cahill, what about yourself? What were your thoughts?
With the team, it's like it wasn't what I wanted, but I wasn't disappointed in it because it was exactly what I expected. The only difference was I was expecting Johnson in for Fredericks, but I was actually happier to see Fredericks because he adds more to it than Johnson. Johnson's solid, but he's very green right now. He hasn't sort of. I don't know if he's even Premier League quality a lot of the time. Fredericks can be annoying when you see him starting every match for a season. But I think he's been very impressive this season in his limited sort of opportunities. I'd like to see him more because he has been impressive every time he's played. I think he suited well to the left, even though it's his awkward side. Like, yeah, his finishing ball perfect, but he was on his wrong side. I thought he did a very good job out there. Yeah, like I know there was loads of Ben Rama rumors going around, but I think that was started by Claret and Hugh, and from my own history at looking at Claret and Hugh, I don't think they're the most trustworthy source. So I wasn't to be believing it. Like I did want Benrahma to start because I thought it was a game. If like obviously I'm not the manager, so I was going to play a 4 at the back. I would have played like a 4 at the back and just gone at them. But I can't say I was disappointed because I wasn't expecting anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Just on before I move on to West Ham Online, on the inclusion of Fredericks, how does that, in your opinion, reflect on Ben Johnson? Because for me, I think that's for him, that's quite worrying that he was pushed to one side for a guy that also is a right-footed player playing on the left.
There's been like a gimmick sort of thing with Ben Johnson the whole time that he's 2-footed and he can play both sides. But wing backs and like a flat left or right back is a completely different thing. Like he's not an attacking left back, so why are you going to play him in an attacking wing back position, which is even more on the attack? So he's on his wrong side and probably a second to wrong position. Like I think it's unfair on him because he never even gets to prove himself in his actual position. Like he's a young lad. We need to give him proper opportunities. Either send him out on loan or else play him in his right position. But you can't be doing that because we have one of the best right backs in the league right now. It's just a tough situation. Fredericks has more sort of just experience in general. He's probably nearly 30 at this stage, so he'd be more up for it, I think.
But yeah, just to add before we go to Western Online, with regards to Johnson, he looked like a lost. He looked lost even when he come on yesterday. Like that pass, he didn't even look, and he just passed it in the middle of the pitch. I don't know. I honestly don't know what planet he's on.
I'm surprised he even came on, to be honest with you. No, I'm surprised he even came on. I would have stuck Yarmolenko on to add a little bit more attack and have gone all at it instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. West Ham Online, yourself.
If I'm honest, I said it on everything that I went on. I said I've never been more confident before a game that we were going to lose. And that might be very negative, but I saw with the injuries we had, and I was expecting, because we don't have a lot of options, that sort of lineup. I just had no faith, really, if I'm honest. And the lineup was the best that we could do. I know most of us were happy with Fredericks' inclusion, and I think he was probably one of our better players. I know James Fever thinks he done really poorly, but in my opinion, he done very well. I was happy to see Ogbon in the heart of defence again, and I thought he was our best player. Yeah, it was the best we could have done, but I had no faith really in us returning with a win.
Yeah. I mean, the so sort of like just concentrating on the first half here. So those are the stats that were the end of the first half. And you look at it, we didn't get a shot on target. Our possession's quite low, but that's not unusual. But the pass accuracy, I've got to be honest, I looked at that, and partway through the first half, we was as low as 51%. Well, that's quite shocking. I mean, it improved to the end of the half to 67, but even that's nothing to shout about. I mean, that's part of our problem. I think, that our passing game's just not up to scratch against these bigger teams. What are your thoughts, James?
Just based on those statistics, I'm not surprised we didn't have a shot on target. We didn't look dangerous really in the first half. Chelsea had the ball always in our half. Wasn't a hell of a lot going on anyway from us, so I'm not surprised by that. Possession wise, yeah, I can believe those statistics. you know what I'm saying? I can actually believe those statistics because we didn't pass the ball around a hell of a lot in that half. Passing accuracy shows why we need Declan Rice back in the team because he's doing a lot in that midfield, and we lack a little bit of something with him not there. Passing wise, it's dropped off a bit since he's not been in the team, so I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, but defensively, I think we looked good. It was just but I mean, if you look at the goal though, that was a good ball in from Chilwell, but you look at where Werner was. There wasn't a defender anywhere near him.
I know. Well, the thing is with that goal, it was bad from all the defence. The ball when it comes in, it's an open like lateral pass, like the way you can just cut it through just cleanly like that, and no one gets to it. And Werner's got an easy task just to tap it in. Defensively, though, I don't know why, but I got anxious every time Diop got the ball because he was always every time he got the ball, he was a little bit stuttery with it. Other than that, defensive-wise, we weren't really that bad in the first half. We just were a bit flat.
Yeah, absolutely. Duke, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, like I said, mate, from what I watched or what I got to see, and to be honest, I've got to go back and watch, probably Match of the Day or the Sky rewatch. But again, the first half, started in a similar pattern that I think every one of us expected. Chelsea saw a lot of the ball. The commentators consistently remarked on the fact that, we snapped back into defensive shape after losing the ball really well, which, is credit to Moyes and to his backroom team. You can't knock that. And I thought, listen, I'm not going to. I'm still pissed off with the result. I'm still pissed off with several of the decisions during the game. The handball. The sending off. As much as we can moan about passing accuracy and everything else. Listen, there seems to be a want and a need, a desire from wherever it comes from for Chelsea to be part of this top four because of the fact that you don't have Liverpool, Spuds or Arsenal in there. There seems to be a desire to have at least one of the bigger clubs, what they consider to be the bigger clubs, back in the top four of the Premier League. You can't have West Ham and Leicester in there with Man U and Man City. They want Chelsea in there, and more than likely at West Ham's expense because Leicester have won the league. West Ham aren't fashionable. It really does feel to me like there seems to be an unwritten rule that if you can get away with something against West Ham, then go ahead and do it. I look at the Fulham bullshit, and it really still bugs me to this day. Listen, it didn't cause an effect on the result against Fulham. It didn't, but it could have done going forward if that hadn't been overturned. And I'm telling you now, if I wake up tomorrow morning and by lunchtime Balbuena's has been overturned, I am going to lose my shit. Because there just seems to be this attack on West Ham, and if they can do something to get us out of that top four, because we're not fashionable, because we're not going to look good in Europe, because for whatever reason, the Champions League, for whatever reason, listen, that's how I feel. Nothing's going to change that. I really do feel like we're being victimised slightly. It might sound stupid, but that's the way I see it. I look at some of these decisions. The penalty, my God, listen, we had a goal disallowed last season, I believe against Sheffield United, for Declan Rice having the ball headed into his arm as he's running, and he can't do nothing about it. We get a goal disallowed. Yeah,
but that's because you've got two different handball laws in the game. This is the problem.
Listen,
you've got one handball law for defensive situations and one for offensive. It's wrong.
But hang on a minute. Surely, if he changes the direction of the ball with his hand in the penalty area, I don't give a monkey's Gatesy if there's a second rule for defensive handballs. That's handball. That's handball, and that's a penalty. He's changed the direction. If my memory serves, was the ball not going towards the back of the net? Was the ball on target when it hits his arm?
Yep.
Penalty. penalty. Oh no, it's West Ham. Let's not give it. I'm telling you now, if that had been the other way round, Chelsea get a penalty. I'm telling you now, if that's
It's the laws that are
Chilwell,
the issue. You see,
I'm telling you
that's the
now, if
problem
it
with
was
it.
Chilwell following through on Balbuena on the clearance like it was, that's a yellow. That's
It's not
a
even a
yellow for a
card.
Chelsea player.
No,
No,
it's
listen,
not.
Andy,
He kicked the
I
ball.
agree with you. It's not even a card, right? But if anything,
sorry.
if the referee is going to give a card, it's a yellow straight off the bat. There's nothing else to it. You know, you could say it's dangerous play. Was he reckless? No. Was he out of control? No. He kicked the ball forward, and let's be honest, it wasn't like it was a tap and then he threw his leg into Chilwell. No, he larruped that ball with everything he had, with the instep, which meant the studs come forward. You ain't going to keep your studs flat to the ground when you're trying to larrup the ball, get under it with the inside of your foot. So, you know, listen, I just feel like there's a vendetta against us. I completely agree with Peach. Peach has said there we need to do Burnley and every other team till the end of the season. I'm sorry I've kind of taken parts of the second half as well, Gatesy. You know, but I'm fuming. I'm so pissed off. I'm not pissed off with the team. I've seen some comments in there about Fornals and Noble. Listen, at the end of the day, our lack of squad is coming back and biting us in the arse. Our lack of decision to even just try and get, you know, some foreign loans in. I don't give a monkeys whether they would have been first team. And it's no disrespect to Noble, but at least we would have had some strength or even some depth. I'm not being funny. When you're there and you've got a youth development goalkeeper and someone who'll be lucky if he plays championship goalkeeping next season in Randolph, when you've got those two on your bench, you're in trouble. If they take up two spots on your bench, you're in trouble. So listen, I'm pissed off. I'm angry. I think it's stupid. If I'm honest, I've had a crap day at work as well. Things have gone wrong here, and no doubt you'll find out later from George. And I'm just feeling a bit. And yesterday's a massive part of that. I just, you know, I listen. Steve said it. Even if we finish seventh, it's still a fantastic season coming off the back of being relegation favourites when we first kicked off at the start of the season. To finish seventh and still get European football next season with a bit of luck is huge. Let's not mess around. But I just feel like we could have got more, and I just think the injuries that we knew could come back and bite us, Rice and Antonio, have come back and they have bitten us hard, and we're suffering from that. I've seen a couple of comments, you know, Steve there and Tony saying that they don't think it would have been a penalty. They don't think it was a penalty. It's a penalty all day long, boys. The ball's hit his arm and he's diverted the angle of it. And let's be honest, he put his arm down to the side of his leg. That's not a natural position for his arm to be when I don't know what's going on now. That's not a natural position for his arm to be down by his elbow was down by his knee and his thigh at that point. He's leaning down with his arm to create a bigger area of blockage for the ball rather than just his thigh. So tell me he's not moved his arm into position to stop the ball. He has, therefore it's a penalty. It's a penalty. So, and again, you know what? Could have been deemed a red because he's directly stopped a goal scoring opportunity. But listen, it is what it is. It's done and gone on it.
Milesy, any of that you disagree with, or are you pretty much on the same page as Duke?
I think everyone. I even saw people slagging off Lingard yesterday, and
really,
like I said, that's why I took a break from Twitter. I think half the
What did they
West
say? What did they say to him?
They said it hasn't influenced the game. Moyes should have brought him off. He looked injured.
Well, who
blah blah
did?
blah.
Well, he did
In
a
a
bit.
claret and blue shirt, you know. Let's be real. Nobody really influenced the game in an offensive.
You know that's what I said, guys. Like half of these fans were probably like me on Friday, had too much bevy before the game and just didn't know what they were watching. So this is the reason. Like half of these fans, I don't know what they are. At the end of the day, Kante is probably one of the best midfield players, not just in the Premier League, in the world. He knows exactly what we're going to do. As soon as we get the ball in the halfway, we're going to look for Lingard. if it was him or one of the Chelsea centre halves, were round Lingard like anything. Very unlucky with his shot in the first half. I thought that was looping in, or the second half. When was that? Was it first half or second half?
What
Second half,
the shot
wasn't
from Lingard?
Yeah, second half.
Yeah,
wasn't
second half. Yeah, second
Sorry,
half.
sorry for jumping the gun, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's
No,
but
that's
no,
cool.
with regards to the first half, I thought we done well. We switched off, like I said, for the goal, but you can't criticise a team for that when we didn't have chances to score down the other end. I thought Noble had a good game. I thought he done well in there, but the reason why we're going to be setting up so defensively is without Rice being in there. We need that extra cover. When Rice is in there, I can guarantee the Ben Ramas, etc., will be playing because we've got more protection at the back. Noble hasn't got the legs and he knows it, but his positional sense is good. With regards to Fornals, I see where everyone's saying with regards to him. I agree. Ben Rama should be playing, but for what Fornals was doing yesterday, Ben Rama would have done a better job. Ben Rama seems to be just sitting there in the number 10, and that's where you need Ben Rama because he's got better distribution. But apart from if we're just sticking to the first half, I have no complaints.
Duke's gone into the second half, so let's open it up. Open it up. Go into the second half if you.
Sorry, Gatesy. Sorry.
No. Listen, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
That's all right.
Cool.
No,
right. Dude, we're not scripted. You know that. We just go with the flow. So let's do it.
I honestly cannot understand how he even thought about giving him a red, but I knew it. As soon as that challenge happened, I knew he was getting sent off. I knew VAR would do it.
Tell you what I'm going to do. Tell you what I'm going to do because I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but
sorry.
No. Listen, it's absolutely cool. Listen,
I've done it. Patrick's done it. We're on fire today.
Right. Let's have a look at this, gentlemen. Now, I said it at the time, and if any of you in the stream want to go back and have a look, there was a video that I did months ago after the game at Old Trafford in the Cup when Angelo got the injury. Right.
Yeah.
So you look at the top there. There's the challenge on Martial on Ogbonna. There's the it wasn't a challenge from Balbuena. It was him clearing the ball and he's caught Chilwell. Okay. So both of them studs up, both of them contact on the opponent's leg, right? The one on the bottom was given as a red card and Chilwell got up and played out the rest of the game. Absolutely no problem at all. The one on the top wasn't even given as a foul and Ogbonna was out for what, 2 months?
Yeah.
Explain that one to me.
Can I jump in on this one first, if people don't mind?
Balbuena's, the picture makes the whole thing look so much significantly worse because he actually looks like he's stamping down in that picture, which we all know he's not. The top one ain't even a tackle, Gatesy. The top one is an absolute just shocking lunge from Martial. It's a lunge. There is no other way to even validate what he's doing there. That is just an outright lunge. The studs are up. Now, I understand. Listen, I get it's very difficult to go in for a challenge like that with your studs facing the floor unless you can dislocate your ankle to make your foot face downwards. So I get that. Was Balbuena, I'll put this question, just a one-word answer from any of you. Was Balbuena out of control on his clearance?
No.
Was Martial out of control on his lunge for the ball there?
Yeah, intentional.
I would say he was.
So tell me that my big club bias doesn't exist.
I agree with you 100%.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
I agree with you 100%. The thing is, what frustrated me is, like, going off the topic as well, is the Callum Wilson one. The goal what was disallowed. Like, talking about handballs and sorry if it's going on. We might as well talk about VAR. How shit it's been for the whole weekend, including the Arsenal game on Friday night. We won't even go there. But the differences with this challenge is, I've seen a few people say in the chat, Soufal should have been sent off as well. If that's the rule.
Yeah, I'll make you right.
Yeah,
I'll make you right. You know what? I wouldn't have had any complaint if Soufal had gone.
if Balbuena had still been on the pitch. I wouldn't have had any complaint, Andy. No complaint whatsoever, because I agree it was a red. But
I'll bring in
Balbuena went, so that pisses me off.
Yeah, I'll bring in Cahill because I'm mindful that the two guys at the bottom have been sitting there patiently having their say on this.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Sorry,
Don't worry. Cal, talk to me. What are your thoughts? Because as I say, I did a video at the time.
Which is it on, just in general,
question,
or on this tackling situation?
On this one to begin with, but then if you want to expand into your thoughts on how the match progressed. But I did a video at the time asking the question. That one on the top was not even given as a foul, and the one on the bottom is a red card. The one on the top, the player was out for 2 months. The one on the bottom, the guy got up and finished out the rest of the game, no problem at all. Explain.
Yeah. I think I've seen the word floating about on Twitter. I've seen it on different things. People are saying Balbuena's challenge was reckless. He never challenged anyone. He was kicking a ball. He's a footballer. He I don't understand it. The Martial one, you see, the thing is, I'm looking at football through a lens where I think it's too soft anyway. So I don't think even Martial should be a red. I think it should be a yellow. And Balbuena shouldn't be anything, because I know Martial didn't go in with any intent. It was sloppy. Maybe it's a red by the rules, especially nowadays, because it was sloppy and he got nothing. Because his was an actual attempt. It was more of a challenge than anything. The ball's nowhere near it. And it was an endangering position. He had the intent sort of going in as a challenge, and he made an absolute tit of it. So if there has to be one that's a red, it's of course the top one. Now, the picture does look bad because it just looks like he's lunging in for Balbuena's one there. But when you've seen it live and you see even the replay, there is just no chance you can send someone off for it. It had me. My mind's gone from it. I just don't understand how the game can end up like that. It's an absolute disgrace. The problem with it is the referees. The referees are an absolute disaster. Like, even if I can bring the VAR into it. Yeah, exactly. If I can bring the VAR into it, I personally didn't think it was a penalty, but I can see that if it was another team, if it was happened to us, it would have been given as a penalty. The thing is, it's way too inconsistent. The referees are sort of, there's no consistency. Like, when you're a referee, your opinion doesn't matter. It has to be by the rule. The sort of seems to be too many opinions and too many favorings of the big teams. I don't think, like, it's just you go from one game to the other and they're making a balls of it. How can these lads be professional referees? It's an absolute disaster. Like, I see better lads come on in 11-a-sides where we bring one ref for one half and the other team have a ref for a half, and they're better than that stuff. It's just a shambles. I don't know what more I could say, because it's so confusing and painful. It's painful to see, because we've had that happen multiple times since VAR's come in and since everything. Anytime a referee walks over to that screen, it's a red card. They're afraid. Yeah. They're afraid of looking at Egypt and going into the front page of the papers, even though they end up looking worse over it. How can Chris Kavanagh drive home to wherever he's going after that and think I did a good job out there today? He had a fine enough game and then does something like that. Like, it's an absolute disgrace.
Completely ruined it.
Sorry, just to add, did you see him? Mike Dean was fucking full efficient. He had the Mike Dean even smirk when he fucking sent him off. That's what fucked you off. He walks up like that and fuck off, you little prick.
I didn't see that. I said in my post game, Mike Dean's on full efficient, by the way. So
to say he's a prick.
What got me about the VR? When they go over to the screen, and there's a decision like this, my heart sinks immediately, because I know, given that it's West Ham and given that it's VAR, I know what's coming next. But it's the fact that they have to review it every single angle possible. It just adds to the piss take.
So, any of you guys think that that there needs to be transparency now with these VAR and the referees?
We've been crying for it for ages.
Do you think that the referees
there needs to be
now
interviews.
be held accountable? Yeah, exactly. Get these referees on TV.
They're way too prominent in the game at this stage. They're way too prominent in the game.
Listen, they want
to get away with everything
they do. Let's get them out there. They want the limelight. They want. Listen, the money that they're on should be enough for them. I personally think now they need to be held accountable. They should be able to give reasons. They should be able to give reasons for the decisions that they came to. Listen, they want the limelight, then get them on the bloody telly and let them face some difficult questions. Because I'm telling you now, there'd certainly be some changes on some of these decisions because they'd bottle having to go on and face the press.
But when they make a balls of it, they flip it on their head and start a little pity party, like Mike Dean saying he was getting death threats and all. They make a little sob story out of it when don't get into the position where you can make an absolute tit of it. If you're going to be giving out about getting stuff.
Kent makes the point about it being like rugby. In rugby, they're all mic'd up and people can hear what the conversations are between. That's what needs to happen here, isn't it, James?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, because then you get to hear the referee talking it through. So then you at least get an understanding of why it's been happened.
It's so much better in rugby. It is so much better in rugby.
Definitely.
You see, the thing is, they've probably how long's it been in rugby? 10 years now?
Oh yeah,
easily.
Roughly. Maybe even longer.
Easily.
Yeah, you see, that's also a thing. People just say, "Oh, look at rugby. It's working well. Give them another 10 years, it'll be fine." But we can't go through 10 years of this shite. That's the problem. We get screwed over at any opportunity. Any opportunity there is a chance, we have been screwed over. And you can say we got a nice penalty against Newcastle last week. But that was just from sloppy. I know it came from nothing, and I didn't say, "Oh God, that's a penalty." But the problem is, each referee has a different opinion on things. You can't be like that as a ref. It has to be concrete, by the books.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm on the verge of starting a petition now to have like line judges like they do in NFL, you know, when they lob the yellow flags and shit onto the pitch for something that's seen. You know what? That's got to be better than VAR.
You could have everyone in the bloody world sign a petition and it means nothing to them. That's the problem.
You know what I mean, though?
They don't give a shit.
Get rid of VAR and have that. And have your challenge. Because I'm telling you now, it'd be so much clearer. Because I'm not being funny. This rule with you don't put the flag up unless the ball's in the back of the net from an offside. I don't understand what that bullshit's about. How many times have we seen goalkeepers come out and possibly injure a player?
Three times it's happened, Duke. Three players have gone off on a stretcher because of it.
Right, and then all of a sudden, it's offside. Well, it wouldn't have mattered. Listen, this is going to get this. We're going to end up with a situation where you have another Petr Cech, where either a goalkeeper or a player is going to end up.
They're afraid. That's the problem. They're afraid to put up the flag now.
I don't give a monkeys. Put the flag up and let's stop dicking around with these toenail offside decisions. If there's clear space between the attacker and the defender, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that what it used to be.
Not half a kneecap, all that shite, like all the half a kneecap stuff.
Between a defender and a striker, then he's offside. Yeah. If there is any part of your body
if they need to draw lines, it shouldn't count. They should just scrap that stuff. It needs to be clear and obvious. There should be no drawn lines saying his kneecap is a centimetre offside.
If there is, you know what, like they've got with a VAR at the minute, where if his toenail's offside, then it's offside. It needs to be the other way. If any part of your body is being played on by the defender, because apparently, am I right in thinking that all offside decisions, if it's questionable, they go to the strikers, goes to the attacking team. That's from what I'm led to believe. Offside should be if there's any doubt, keep your flag down because it goes to the attacking team. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
It's got to come back.
Or all the line stuff.
Right. Because at the minute, at the end of the day, what we're looking at right now is half a toenail offside, half a kneecap offside, a pubic hair offside, and we are getting so frustrated with this bullshit week in, week out when they can't even get that right. Because you look at the offside at West Ham Liverpool when Milner was literally a £27 cab fare offside in the London Stadium. You know, one of the black cabs that dropped off Mark Noble at Upton Park for the final game. It was literally a black cab fare offside. yet the goal still the goal carried on, the game carried on and the goal counted. Yet we have a game where possibly Souček's foreskin's offside, so therefore it's not given. It's just absolute tosh, boys. I can't be dealing with it anymore. It again, big club bias, and I'm rather than big dick bias for Souček, it's big club bias.
Let's bring West Ham online in because he's been sitting there patiently. I'm sure he wants to have his say on all of this.
If I'm to quickly look at the pictures and everything that I've heard, my take on it all is, in my opinion, neither of those challenges on the screen are red cards.
Okay.
I don't think either are intentional, and I don't think either... The Martial one was more of a red card than the Balbuena one, but I don't think either of them were petulant. I'm going to slightly disagree, and I genuinely don't think that the penalty shout was a penalty because it hit his body and then hit his arm. I just don't think it was. Sense. Pardon? No, but it hit his body.
Said, listen, I thought we were friends. I thought you talk sense. I'm done now.
I just think penalties and red cards are being given out too much at the moment. Like,
I think more the issue is that it would have been given to another team. I don't think it's a penalty for anyone, but I could see that given if it happened to us. That's what I'm more pissed off with. But I wouldn't want it as a penalty to anyone because it's part of the game. What's he supposed to do? Amputate his arm? Same as when Callum Wilson was running through on goal against Liverpool. And it didn't change the direction of the ball because if that hit his rib, it was going the same direction. The laws need to change.
Yeah, what I have to say as well, I don't know if you all remember, but at the start of lockdown, Man United got a penalty when Bruno Fernandes literally trod on Ezri Konsa's
in the Brighton
foot.
game. Oh no,
no, versus Aston Villa, he done a turn and trod on his foot and got a penalty for it.
Oh yeah, my bad.
There's absolutely no way that if that was us and Jesse Lingard accidentally trod on someone's foot, that can't be a penalty. I mean, how it was given, I have no clue, but I can remember one or two decisions from Man United this season not going their way. The Hudson-Odoi handball, which, if I'm honest, I think was a penalty, and that's the only one I can remember.
But you could say the same for Grealish, though. The way Grealish was it against Spurs, and he reaches his standing foot out to go stand on the defending player's foot. That as the defending player moves their foot away, Grealish goes down like a sack of shit, and a penalty is given. I remember watching it in real time, going, "You are kidding me, right?" Because he reaches out to put his foot down on the player, and as the player goes to move his foot, Grealish goes down like a sack of shit and gets the penalty.
And that lad claims he used to play Gaelic growing up. He'd be kicked off the pitch if he was doing shite like that. That Grealish lad really needs a kick up the hole to sort himself out. He'd be one of the best footballers in the world if he gets sort of with the players, good players with him and gets to shine. It's same as Salah. Lads who are just bloody making a muck of themselves. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, they're ruining themselves. Like, they could be quality players, but they're doing stuff like that. It just damages the reputation.
See, Gatesy, could you go back a couple there? I want to ask a question. All right, one more.
Well, this one. One more.
No, one more. Yeah. Right, that one there. No, come on now. That one. That's what I want. Right, listen. Okay. Take out the Chelsea totals for a second on that side and look at ours. And forget that we played Chelsea, right? Nine total attempts isn't great, but it isn't shit. In a grand
that's what we get anyway, Duke. That's the sort of thing we go for.
And that's what I mean.
Teams we should be playing well against, we get sort of 9 or 10 shots, and maybe we could score really 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah,
can you help me out with this one though, Duke? Because I got to be honest with you, and I can't remember this. We had 9 shots on this one, 2 on target. I can't remember Mendy making a save.
Yeah,
and the Ryan Fredericks shot where it was blocked was on target.
Yeah, there was
remember
a couple
he took a lash at it.
And even the one that hits him in the chest and then onto his arm. But again, it is his chest, but his arm's still he's still leaning into his leg. And I've seen the comments of, it comes off his chest and bounces into his arm. Don't give a monkeys his arm. It's no different to my arm being above my head as I'm trying to stop the ball going over my head. My arm has no right in being there. My elbow has no right in being down by my knee when I'm trying to defend. And I mean out against, so listen, we could go on, couldn't we? I mean, we're all, I know we're all frustrated. I know it's we're kind of having that suffer of the fact that we've lost. We feel like we've lost probably that Champions League dream died a little yesterday, didn't it? And I think we're all feeling that.
Duke, I think the difference is what everyone's got to realise. I'm not saying it's every West Ham fan. There's fucking 5 games to go. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of fans are like,
there's too many are saying the season's over.
I know. This is the thing.
There's way too many doomsdayers. There's way too many doomsdayers. That's
too many idiots on Twitter. That's what's the problem. Twitter.
Yeah. And the issue is,
the negativity after yesterday's game was
right. It's just a quick reaction without thinking about it. That's what it is.
It's not. It's still today,
I just think even when we win, our fan base is a joke on social media. I just think it
is.
That's
what I'm saying.
You know what?
Yeah, that's what I'm
there
saying.
There are too many. They will always find the negatives, even in a really, really good performance and a really
West Ham transfers.
Good victory. Yeah, all the time. All the time. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Andy, you just said it yourself. 5 games to go. Chelsea have still got to play Leicester. And if we can listen, we've got what I'd consider to be one difficult game on paper. We've got one difficult game on paper, and that is the Everton game. Listen, we get something out of that. We do the other 4 games, right? Leicester could quite easily slip up. Chelsea have still got the ability to fuck this right up. Let's not mess around.
They've got Man City as well.
They can go all Spursy, right? Chelsea can go Spursy. Leicester can go Spursy. Listen, we have. Don't get me wrong. We have the complete ability to go Spursy, but our running on paper is significantly easier. I felt yesterday, and Andy, I know what you're saying. There's still so many games to play, etc. I did feel like the Champions League dream died a little bit last night. It kind of got that reaching. We're now reaching a little bit further than we needed to. But listen, we're still there. We're still in with a shout. And I mentioned it in a comment a minute ago. And when I was on Jake's Inter 2 Bob trophy quiz a minute ago, it's only Inter 2 Bob because I didn't win it. It was said in there that it doesn't matter now with Man City beating Spurs for the cup. That European dream goes down to 7th of some sort of European competition, be that the the Europa Vanarama, whatever it's going to be called, or the Europa League, or the
Champions League. The inaugural winners. It doesn't sound too bad. I'll take anything.
Mate, I'll take the Vanarama. I'll take the European Vanarama Conference.
We took the Intertoto years ago, didn't we?
The Bees are Homes European competition.
I remember that.
I'll take that. I played in that competition, the Bees are Homes League. Yeah,
Did
there you go. Many moons ago.
Oh, fair enough. So, James, is this our Champions League dream dead? Or
no.
Can we come back?
Of course we can come back. It's not dead. There's 5 games left. Everything's still to play for. We've got it quite easy than other teams. I think we've got a majority of our last few games against teams in the bottom half of the table anyway, because we've got Burnley next and Everton. And after that,
that's what makes it scarier, James.
But yeah, I'm not saying that we're going to win it. I'm not saying that I'm getting all big-headed and confident that we're going to absolutely do them all over. I'm not. But on paper, we've got quite an easier running than the other teams around us, is what I'm saying. We don't have to play Leicester or Chelsea anymore or Man United anymore. We've got to play West Brom, Brighton and Southampton in the last 3 games of the season. West Brom are already losing right now. They're struggling. Southampton have had a massive fall from grace. And West Brom and Brighton, that's a team to struggle against, but they're not really doing awesome either. So it's still all to play for. European dream is still on, definitely. And I'm not going to be one of those idiots that goes on Twitter and says it's done and losing shit. No, I'm just saying, let's just get real here. There's 5 games left. We're in a really good position. It's all to play for.
With 5 games left at the right end of the table rather than the wrong one.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. I mean, we got 15 points left to play for. If we win all of them, which we're going to be getting, obviously Cresswell. I'm guessing will be back for the next game. Yeah, you would, and Tony makes the point here. To be fair, 15 out of the last 20 years, 67's been enough for top 4. So that you look at it. If we get 70 points, if we get 68 points, 67 points, something in that realm, that should be enough more often than not to get top 4. So why not this year?
Chelsea have still got to play Man City and Leicester, I think. Is it Man City and Leicester? And Arsenal?
Villa. So Tony's just put it in the chat there, Andy. Chelsea have still got to play Villa, Arsenal, Man City away, and then Leicester at home. So and you've got to think they've got the is it the FA Cup in there as well?
They got the FA Cup,
Champions League semi-final.
They've got the Champions League games against Real Madrid. Yeah, see, listen, I don't think the final of the FA Cup and the final if they get to the Champions League final as well, they're not going to have any bearing on their league position because obviously they're both played, or I think the FA Cup is now played after the final game of the season. So they won't really have a bearing on their last few league games. So you can probably take those two games out of the equation. But the semi-final of the FA Cup, the two semi-final legs against Real Madrid are going to have a massive bearing on the teams that they will put out in the games prior to all three of those semi-finals. The 2 legs and the FA Cup. It'll have a massive bearing on the teams they put out because let's be honest.
Yeah.
If Chelsea think that they can go right, listen, we'll put out a stronger side against the likes of Arsenal, Man City and Villa, but we'll put out a weakened side against Real Madrid. Anyone who thinks that are going to be off their rocker, right? No. They are going all out to beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. Whether or not they've got the ability to do that, that's neither here nor there, but they are going to go all out and they are going to put the best 11 on the pitch to do so. And you know what? If they put out a weakened team against Villa and against Leicester, they are going to get absolutely served up. They really will because Villa are no mugs. Villa aren't mugs. They're a good side and they're playing.
They've just conceded a penalty right now.
Thanks for that, James. You've just made my point absolutely pointless. Who are they playing? West Brom.
West Brom. Yeah.
Oh no, because that's how I read. That's it, I read. And if listen, if that fat prick keeps them up, you ain't going to hear the end of it, right? You will
not going to stay up now.
Hear the end of it.
Up, Duke, they're down.
No, but if he does, listen, they're going to have the hope if he gets a win out of this. God's sake, I hate him.
I actually think West Brom will win.
You guys can see this. Cal, I'm going to bring you.
It's getting VAR. It's getting VAR checked.
Oh, you're now making me watch it, James. For God's sake.
Sorry, man. I'm just
Cal. Can you see that?
I can't see it.
Milesy's just sent me that. Mark Halsey saying it was totally the wrong decision to send off West Ham's Fabian Balbuena. Discuss.
Yeah, it was.
It's complete. He's right. Like it was totally wrong. I don't understand how they even. Like, I know legally they probably have to go to VAR or whatever for their own reasons. But I don't know why they should bloody look at stuff like that. It says there, a serious foul play challenge is one which endangers a player's safety or uses excessive force or brutality. It wasn't a challenge. A serious foul play challenge. Yeah, it wasn't even a challenge. He's bloody playing football, like. That is a decision from someone who has never kicked a ball in his life.
Yeah, West Ham online.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a red card. I don't know what they were thinking, and I mean, it was just clueless, in my opinion.
But there it is from a former Premier League referee. He's saying it wasn't
literally
red.
Physics,
so
like
that's going to be rescinded, right?
Yeah,
you can't stop the motion, like the motion from moving your leg. You can't change the direction you're going. It makes no sense.
I thought the Soufal one. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the Soufal one was worse. But I knew that weren't going to get given as a red card because the Premier League or the refs thought, we've already given one ridiculous red. Let's not give two, just so we don't look too, controversial. So, yeah, I mean, it's inconsistent. It's corrupt. I, if I'm honest, I wasn't even that annoyed when the red happened because I just expect it now. When Souček got his red, I was really annoyed. But now. Yeah, I just expect it. I'm not that bothered anymore.
Yeah. James, your thoughts on this little piece from former Premier League referee Mark Halsey backing up the fact that it should never have been a red?
Well, he's right. That's first and foremost, he's right. He didn't endanger Chilwell's safety.
As Tony says there, James, just to point that out, I don't know if you've seen the comment there from Tony.
Yeah,
that he also stuck us for when Souček was sent off. And that was rescinded. So
he wasn't a bad referee anyway, Mark Halsey.
I've got a lot of time for him. I've got a lot of time for him anyway.
Wasn't a bad referee. He's sensible in what he says, and I agree with what he says. Balbuena wasn't endangering Chilwell's safety at all. He just followed through and just so happened to catch the player's leg.
If anything, if Chilwell was half a yard the other side, he would have endangered Balbuena. The way he went in. I don't know whether you saw it. The way he went in like 2-footed to block the ball. If he was half a yard, if anything, he would have endangered him. But going back to the game, guys, what did you make of the substitutions? Do you reckon they should have come earlier? Was you happy with them?
Probably a little bit,
but they came too late, mate. Way too late.
Yeah,
they were good subs though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you, but Lanzini looked very hungry. I know he probably didn't really do much, but he looked very hungry when he come on, and the plus side, the way I see it is Soufal again. Where does he get his energy from? It's just his decision making in the last minute. His crossing was very disappointing yesterday. Do you remember that when he should have shot and he passed, etc.?
He was very floaty, wasn't he? He was very.
You can't criticize him because he's so good.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Never stopped running, but I still think it was one of his worst performances. I just think he's tired at this stage because he's bloody never stopped running all season. He's up and down constantly. His deliveries were atrocious. That's because you can't kick a ball. I can't kick a ball at the best of times, no matter after running up and down a pitch, and he has to do it constantly.
Gatesy, can you at least acknowledge the boy, please?
Hello.
Oh, wait.
Hello.
Hello.
He says, "Can you hurry up?" He said, "Can you hurry up and get off the stream and come and pick him up, please? He's finished."
Oh, he's done.
Yeah, I've let him go early because I'm a nice boss.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's only a 10-minute walk. I don't know what's the matter with him.
He said it's only a 10-minute walk, so get stepping.
Lazy git.
Listen, you're 17 years of age. You should be young and fit and mobile and all the rest of it. Yeah.
Uber,
hang on, I'd have to pay for that. Shut up. Yeah. Listen, it's a 10-minute walk. Honestly,
exactly.
Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. He's got more money than me. So, Duke, the article from Mark Halsey. Your say, please.
I mean, someone put it in the chat, didn't he? He stepped in with us when the whole Souček thing, because Hammers Chat did it, didn't they? They had an interview with him. Yes. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Halsey coming in and Halsey doing what he said, and all the pros have come out and said it as well. Well, at the end of the day, they Sorry, I'm being flashed from behind my camera.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah, but what gets me is it's also out and there's cars driving. Hang on, let me just move the camera. Right, piss off then. It comes down to, at the end of the day, they've got it wrong, massively got it wrong. And the fact that all the pros are coming out, right? People like Ian Wright, Trevor Sinclair, you see them all. They're all coming out and they're saying it was an absolute shocking choice to send him off. It was an absolute bullshit decision. Football's finished. This, that, and the other. You're seeing it from every single pro that's on Twitter. But
is it the worst ever? Like I'd say it's up there.
Oh, mate, listen. I don't think, right. I thought Souček's was bad because you could blatantly see what Souček was trying to do, right? You can blatantly try. There you go, Andy. You can blatantly see what Souček was trying to do. He was trying to lift his arm over it, and I thought that was bad because there's no intent. This is awful times, infinity. This decision is one of, honestly, with regards to a red card for the reasons that he's been given, is one of the worst red cards I think I've ever seen. I've seen some shocking challenges by players that haven't even been given a yellow in the past. You go back a few years and you saw challenges that were absolutely shocking, and not even a yellow was given. You see players getting away with so much shit, and then you've got this. And someone mentioned it in the chat earlier, and I'm not going back, so if it was you, please comment again. For me, Chilwell left himself there a little bit longer than he needed to. Those legs seemed to stay, he wasn't falling initially, and it seemed like he waited for that contact to come in. Call it strategically positioning his legs, call it what you will, but it felt like, it seemed to me that very much like if you watch Harry Kane, when the defender comes in for a header and he backs in, looks over his shoulder, leans forward slightly, anticipating that challenge, and flips the defenders. He did it to Cresswell a couple of times, if my memory serves, and Cresswell landed quite heavily on his neck. Sooner or later, unless someone cracks down on that, Harry Kane will be up on a manslaughter charge, because one day someone is going to land so badly that they will snap something in their neck. Because I'll tell you now, he is dangerous. It is awful to watch. As an ex-player, that is one of the worst. Right?
And if he was in English and the captain,
Floor
he
covered in
wouldn't get
dribble.
away with it.
Oh, you know what, Cal? Spot on, mate. If we were talking about anyone else, right, that, like you say, wasn't the England captain, if that was, let's say that was, I don't know, a half-decent foreigner that came over, Italian, whatever, and let's say bang average, good enough to play in the Premier League, but bang average. If they were doing that week in, that week out, everyone would be up in arms, even like the fans of the team. But the fact that it's Harry Kane, the fact that he's the captain of England, the fact that he plays for a so-called, top club, the big club bias, he gets away with it week in, week out. He gets away with that week in, week out. I don't even think I've seen him pick up a yellow card for it, Gatesy. I really don't think I've seen him pick up a
I never have either.
And then you've got this. Then you've got this tackle from Chilwell, or an attempted block. Sorry, let me rephrase that. An attempted block from Chilwell and a clearance. It's not even like...
No, it's not a challenge. He's clearing the ball, which is what he's there to do.
It wasn't reckless.
I don't know if you guys saw,
out of control.
There was a tweet. There was a tweet from Paddy Power yesterday saying words to the effect of professional footballer gets sent off for kicking a football.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah,
they came out with so many of it. They probably had 10 tweets with stuff making fun of the thing.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, well, pretty much that was exactly what happened. Professional footballer kicks a football, sent off.
They'll have to put up bets for someone's going to make a balls of it with VAR or something. They'll have to start doing stuff like that because it's worth money.
I'm telling you now, right? I worry for the future of football. I look at this and you look at the bullshit that happened yesterday, VAR. You look at the ball, and to be fair, I'm only looking at it from a West Ham point of view, right? And we could have suffered with Souček being banned for X amount of games if that had been upheld when it never was. When's Dawson back? Is he back next game or does he miss 2 now?
Yeah, it was only a 1-game ban.
Right. So we're not going to, even if this does get upheld, we're not going to suffer overly for it because we've got someone that can walk back into Balbuena's position. Pardon me, hiccups. In Balbuena's position. So essentially we're covered. And I can't say for other clubs. I'm not going to speak for other clubs with regards to some shocking VAR decisions. I'm not going to speak for other clubs on, awful decision on red cards because I don't know. I'm not going to make them comments about something that I don't know. But from a West Ham point of view, I worry about the future of football if they continue to use VAR. I worry about the future of football if they don't make the referees start having some sort of accountability to the nation and to the public. But at the end of the day, even if they make their match reports available online, for anyone that has the inclination to do so, to log in online at the FA website, sign up and to be able to view the match reports, to see how the referee saw that action by Balbuena as a red card. You see what I mean? So I just think, I'm at a point now where I'm becoming very disillusioned. You look at what happened with the Six trying to go off and do what they did. You look at what's happened too many times to West Ham this season and last season, and possibly more than likely even to other teams. Like I say, I'm not going to comment on that. You see what Harry Kane gets away with. Finishing
in the top 4, Duke. They don't want us
finishing
in the top
we know
4.
that, and I said
if they've
this.
got
I
anything
said
to
this
do with
earlier.
it, they won't. They'll do everything
I
they
said
can
this
to stop us
earlier.
finishing in the top 4.
And it's painful, Gatesy. It's awful.
It is.
You can see it now. We have to get a win against Southampton to get Champions League football, and we'll have Mike Dean or John Moss as the ref, or Lee Mason. You can fucking see it now, can't you?
Mate,
or either one of them on VAR.
I'll tell you what, Andy, bookmark that. What minute, Gates? 1 minute 6. Right?
1 minute and 6. 1 hour 6.
1 hour 6. Bookmark that, because I'm telling you now, Andy, I'm coming for you if that's the truth, right? I am going to come for you if
I know where you live. You don't know where I live.
I can say what I want. I'm 4,000 miles away.
Exactly.
It's just, listen, you just know, don't you? You just know that they will screw us in them last 2 games. If it's still statistically possible for us to do so, what was it? What was it in WWE? WWF. It was the Montreal screw job.
The Montreal screw job.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
get ready for the London. Watch for the London Stadium screw job.
Someone's going to have to spit on Mike Dean. Then, are they?
Yeah, he punched him in the dressing room as well.
Legend.
Bret Hart.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
But no, this is the thing, though, guys. Like, it's not just this game. It's like we should be here having a general conversation about how the game is.
Yep.
About football, but it's VAR all the fucking time.
We're getting caught up in the controversies.
The thing is, it's going nowhere. I was having this conversation. I was at my daughter's football, and one of the dads there, he's another West Ham fan, and we was just having a chat before the game kicked off.
Subscribe?
And I turned around and I said that
Does he subscribe?
I believe so. I hope
he wants to. I'm telling you, because if he hasn't, you need to get hold of his phone, log into his YouTube, and get on there. Like I do with the staff.
I turned around and said VAR, whether you like it or not, it's going nowhere. And the truth of the matter is, the Premier League clubs wanted this. We wanted this for years.
They're too committed to get rid of it. They won't admit they're wrong. And now they won't admit they're wrong. And
you've uncorked Pandora's box, and you're not going to put it back. VAR's here to stay, whether you like it or not.
Mm.
And there it is. It'll probably be that over the years we'll just get used to it. It will get more slick.
Yeah, give it 10 years, it will be probably as good as rugby. But them 10 years are going to be awfully painful.
Yeah, but the problem is that the one that's really sort of like pisses people off is the offside, where you like you say, you've got a toenail offside and they're drawing lines and all that bollocks, and people just get the ump over it, and rightly so. But the problem is that when they brought VAR in, they didn't update the offside law to account for a guy sitting in a booth that can draw lines and all the rest of it and zoom in and da-da-da-da-da and go, oh, look, he's 3 centimeters offside, therefore it's offside. And, it's the little thing. It's the old thing, you can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either offside or you're onside. There should be, but in the laws of the game, there isn't. That's the problem.
Clear.
But in my opinion,
that's it.
Oh, sorry.
No, so go on, Andy. I was just saying clear space. That's it. There doesn't need to be any
but
other conversation.
that's not how the law is at the minute, and that's the problem. They didn't upgrade the laws when VAR came in, and that's what they needed to do. I agreed with Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger turned around and said that if there was any part of the body that was level with the second last defender, then the attacker is onside, because you want more goals, don't you? You want more entertainment, this, that, and the other. So it should be onside. If your foot is level with the second last defender, the last
as it used to be.
Yeah, it should be onside, goal stands, and some you'll win, some you'll lose. But ruling out goals for that much offside is just farcical in my opinion. But like I say, unfortunately, we've uncorked Pandora's box. We've let the genie out the bottle. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. But I agree. I completely agree. The refs need to be mic'd up. The ref, the assistant refs, the VAR. We need to hear the conversation that's going on. Because as you said, Duke, if at least we could listen to the conversation and understand why the player was sent off, what was the thought process that led the referee to go, that's a red. We might not agree with it, but we might be able to get our head around it. Maybe.
It's the same.
But you
it's
don't
the
hear
same
the
as the
conversation.
referee.
We'll never get our head around this one. We'll never get our head around this one.
Not. But
if the referee's mic'd up and he goes over to Noble, because as they do in every other sport apart from football, for whatever reason, you're going to talk to the captain to explain your decision. It's done very rarely in football. If the referee who is mic'd up goes over to Noble and goes, right, this is the reason. Look, I watched that challenge. I've watched it a couple of times. I personally, the referee, in my opinion, I think he was reckless. I think it was he was out of control. That's my opinion, and that's why I've sent him off. You know what? Fair enough, son. If that's what you're saying, that's why you've done it. Not on the word of someone else that reckons you should have another 27 look at it, slowed down, upside down, inverted,
and you'll have more respect for them as well.
Yeah, of course I would. In my opinion, that's why I've done it.
For football referees right now, because they all make a diss of it.
In my opinion, that's why I did it. And if he comes off the pitch after the game and he has another look at it and he goes, you know what, I got that wrong. I hold my hands up. I've watched it a few more times. You know what? It ain't going to change the fact that he sent it off. But if he admits he got it wrong, I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
The appeals can go in.
Yep. Well, you know what? The appeal wouldn't even have to go in, because if the referee turns around and goes, you know what? I'm looking at that again. I take back my red card. I know it doesn't do you any favors if you go on to you send off a goalkeeper and the referee, you can see 2 goals and the referee after the game goes, probably shouldn't have sent him off. I've got that wrong. You're still going to be pissed off and you're still, you fucking idiot, why'd you go and do it? But if he goes, no, I got it wrong, I take back my red card, there doesn't have to be an appeal. So then you don't have to worry about going in. Like tomorrow, damn well, people have said in the chat, it's been appealed. You know damn well, as much as I do, we're going to wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to get to lunchtime, there's going to be a notification come through from the 4 or 5 West Ham news apps that I've got on my phone, Sky Sports and everything else. My Twitter account for both my personal account and Fultram Iron is going to go absolute batshit crazy on notifications to say that the Balbuena decision was overturned. Oh, well, there's a fucking surprise. We all know that that's the case, and it should never have happened in the first place. But like I say, if the referee had actually come out and said, you know what, look, that's my opinion, that's why I did it. All right, ref, cheers, job done.
But,
you can accept that.
But the thing is, though, what I don't understand is why Premier League referees need to be in VAR. What about these ex-pros like Mike Halsey and whoever sitting at home doing fuck all, reading stuff for newspaper? They should be the ones in there making these decisions, and they know exactly what it is. They're fucking getting fatigued. They're doing 2 Premier League games a week, some of them. Then they've got to go to fucking Stockley Park or whatever and be a referee on that.
Is it Howard Webb that does the Sky Sports on a Monday morning?
No, Dermot Gallagher. He's
Dermot Gallagher. Get him in VAR.
No, because he fucking agrees with everything what they fucking say. Fuck him off. and pisshead Peter
get
Walker.
him in
Gallagher's
there,
a bit of a spokesperson
Yeah.
for them. You see, Gallagher won't go out and talk shite on them. Like he's
Get you and
one of
me in
them.
there,
Get
Andy.
Mark Housey
Fuck
in.
Yeah.
it.
Get Mark Housey.
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
You see, the refs probably have this sort of camaraderie together where you're sort of brothers in arms sort of situation where they don't want to talk shite on each other. You can
Well, apart from
understand that.
Mark Housley.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know,
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
say, get a player in there. Get a player in there who's
A
played the
player
game
and an
and knows the
ex-ref.
situation. Yep. Couldn't
Yeah.
agree more.
Before we wrap it up, gents, I'm just going to go round you guys individually. So I'll start with James. 5
Mhm.
matches left. The matches are Burnley away, Everton
Yeah.
at home,
Yeah.
Brighton away, West Brom away,
Mhm.
Southampton at home. How many points are we getting?
Burnley game's going to be a tough one. Everton game's going to be just as tough. I'd say at least 10.
Okay, so you got us finish on 65 minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. Milesy, same question to you.
12. I think we're going to
Okay.
lose to Everton, but we're going to win the other 4. Everton are our bogey team, and so yeah, 12 for me.
So 67. Cal?
I'm trying to do the math. So there's 15 points. So 3 wins is 9, and then the 2 draws is 11. So 11. I think we'll draw with Everton and draw with Brighton because affect Brighton.
So that's 66.
It's
And,
like
and
listening
to
to
you,
Father
Duke,
Ted.
same question.
I love Peach's enthusiasm. I do. I just can't bring myself to say 15. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But Everton are still there fighting for that European spot as well. I'll go 13, Gatesy. I think we'll draw against Everton. And I think our statement. So who we got next? Burnley next week, is it?
Burnley on Monday the 3rd.
Okay.
Some performance by them as well today. God.
Our statement.
But then that might work in our
will come.
favour because they might be sort of looking at the table and thinking, and especially if the bottom 3 teams drop points at the weekend before they take to the pitch, it may well be that they can sort of like think, well, we're done, we're safe, which might
I
be
just
an
hope we beat
advantage
them. But
in
I do
ours.
love Burnley. Like
Our statement game will be Burnley next week. I can see us going out. I
Moyes
think
won't let them lose 3 in a row.
No, I can see Cressy coming back for next week. I think there's a distinct possibility that Declan will be back next week.
Deck will be back.
And
Deck will
I'm
be back.
telling you now,
Yeah, should be
we
back.
will go out next week and we will make a statement. I have a feeling you will possibly see Ben Rama start next week. Now that, like you said earlier, Andy, that
What about my best mate? Oh yeah, it's off a massive walker. Oh yeah.
You'll get fever wanting to jump in.
I didn't know that was even a song.
We will. Yeah, Andy made it up.
Fever will be in the live chat and he'll be saying, "I want to come on and talk to Andy and talk about his singing."
Have you heard the Ben Rama chant?
No, what's the Ben Rama chant? Come on,
Sayed Ben Rama's magic. He was raised in France. He leaves defenders inside out and hanging out their arse. Plays in the midfield and sometimes goes up front. We had to buy him on the tick because Sullivan's an idiot.
Oh God! See, this is what happens when we're not in the ground. There's chants that are made up and no one knows. So
4-0 win against Burnley, Gatesy. 4-0 win against Burnley.
Oh, that's very confident.
2-1. 1-0 against Everton. We're going to beat Brighton possibly 2-1 or 2-0. Southampton will be difficult, but I think we'll pick up a 1-0 win there. And West Brom, I think we will probably play them off the park because I think if they're down, they'll be down by then because they're second to last game of the season, aren't they? And I reckon again, I reckon we could go absolutely fucking rampant there, and I reckon that could be, that could be another 4 or 5 jobby.
I can't wait for the day we beat Burnley 4-0.
I'll tell you now. Listen. Bookmark it. 1 hour 19 minutes. I reckon he's going to absolutely set a rocket up their arse. And if Ben Rama plays and links with Lingard, like we all know he can, like we've seen, I tell you now, I fear for Burnley's defence. I do. I fear for West Brom. We'll run them fucking ragged. So it could be interesting. I think we're going to see some big scores from us in these remaining 5 games.
Yeah. Well, I remain positive because I look at that comment that I think it was Tony made earlier about in the last 20 years, 15 times, if you'd have got 67 points, you'd get Champions League football. And I look and think, well, okay, so we can afford one defeat somewhere within those 5 games. And I got to be honest, the one that I'm looking at that I think is a concern to me is Brighton away, because when was the last time we went to Brighton and done anything? That's
the championship
the
season.
dodgy one to me. Well, no, I'm talking top flight. Since they've been promoted, we've not gone there.
Not in my lifetime.
We've never beaten them.
Yeah. So that's the one that I'm looking at. Everton we know is going to be tough.
But this is a different Brighton.
I'm looking at Brighton and thinking
shithouse Brighton.
No, true enough. But I just look at Brighton. I think that's the potential banana skin. I agree with Duke. I think, if we've got Rice, Masuaku and Cresswell back for the game at Burnley, and especially if the teams below Burnley drop a point or two, I think that they could go into sort of like the towels on the sort of like the sun lounger mode a little bit, and that might give us the advantage. Yeah, Everton will be tough. Everton will be a tough game. They're always they're always
bogey team for us, another bogey team.
They are a little bit, yeah. But as I say, it's West Brom. I think will be West Brom. I think will be down by the time we rock up there. But the thing is, it'll be typical Sam Allardyce. For him.
He just wants to stop us. He doesn't care about staying up.
Of course he does.
Typical jabber.
Of course he does. But Southampton should be 3 points. I'm optimistic. I think we with the wind at our backs, we could get all 15 points that are on offer, and then we're 70 points. And if we got 70 points and we didn't make top 4, I'd be shocked as hell. I think realistically, that's my heart talking. But I think it's more likely 67. I think is a realistic prediction. So
what's the odds of getting points deductions or something? Like the Dildo brothers have done a dodgy tax return or something, and we're flipping get points deductions. Imagine it, we get full.
Don't even go there, Milesy. Don't even.
No, they wouldn't. Please.
They'd find a way, wouldn't they? They'd find a way. So
to get us transferred.
Right. Well, before I wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do my usual shout out to Wyler. For those of you that don't know, those 7 of you watching and those of you that watch later on, this is a young lady, 6 years of age, who is having the fight of her life for her life. She's battling neuroblastoma. This is a cancer that is a really rare cancer, and there ain't no treatment for this in the NHS, ladies and gentlemen. So her family have got to stop what they're doing and take this little girl or wherever it is around the world for the treatment that's going to hopefully, touch wood, save her life. They got to pay for the flights where they got to go, the accommodation where they're staying, their living costs, the treatment itself. The bills are still coming in the UK, don't forget. And in the middle of a global pandemic, guys, this is absolute hell on earth. It's no exaggeration to say. So on that banner there, you have got a PayPal, you have got a Just Giving, and we at Falls from Iron and the wider West Ham YouTube community are asking you to give generously. No donation is too small. Anything from £1 up will be we'll thank you for that. No problem at all. But the more the merrier, obviously. Whether you can, whether you can't donate, we would ask you in either event to please take this message, all the information that's on there, put it onto your social media platforms, put it onto your Facebook, your WhatsApp, your Instagram, all of that. Send it to your friends, send it to your family, work colleagues, people you don't even get on with, whoever. total strangers, doesn't matter. Send it out there far and wide because, and I'll keep saying it until I'm blue in the face, guys. This is a race against time for this little girl and this family. And we need to try and make sure that this 6-year-old girl, just stop and think about that, guys. She's 6 years of age. She's fighting for her life. This really shouldn't be happening. And if you've got a couple of quid you can chuck into the tin to try and get the treatment to save this little girl's life, we'd urge you to do so. Thank you very much indeed for listening. Okay, guys. Well, I'd like to say thank you to Cahill for joining us.
Cheers, lads.
No worries. Andy Miles.
Thank you, sir. See you on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
You will indeed. James from the Anvil. And before you disappear, would you like to give all of your social media platforms, your YouTube channel, a quick plug?
Yes, I will. Okay, so it's From the Anvil, West Ham United. That's what you're searching to the bar up top. My social media is From the Anvil WHU. So that's From the Anvil WHU. That's my Twitter and my Instagram. Follow my channel, subscribe to my channel, even for regular West Ham content. I do try my best on it. And most of the people who are watching my channel are unsubscribed anyway, so get subscribed to it. My social medias, I've just told you. I tweet about games. I also give reviews on other sports. I'm also a professional writer as well for the Vancouver Canucks in the National Hockey League. My Twitter for that is James Snedden THW. So follow me on that for my second hustle.
Fair enough. Thank you very much indeed, sir. And Duke, I've put that little banner up there. So if anybody's passing the Dartford area and they want to come in and have and buy you a shandy or whatever, then they can do so. At Ball in Green Hive. That is where you need to go. So, Duke, any final thoughts from yourself, sir, before we wrap it up?
Off of mute because I'm a plum and forgot that I pressed mute. No, to be honest with you, mate, listen, at the end of the day, yesterday's yesterday. Once tomorrow starts, it's a fresh week. We go again. We'll move on from obviously what happened yesterday. Just at the end of the day, feel a bit down in it, but because it wasn't a game that we lost. I felt it was a game that was taken away from us. I hear people banging on, and I've received text messages, and I've been on Facebook and stuff today, and you got people commenting that West Ham wouldn't have got anything out of the game with 11 men. It wouldn't have mattered. And my argument always was, without that 11th man, you took away the option of us being able to throw the kitchen sink at Chelsea in the last 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes of injury time. You took away the option of being able to just throw the bodies forward, because at the end of the day, you're a man short. So what irritates me is that that's been taken away from us shut the door. That's been taken away from us. The opportunity to do that, and look at the stats. Look at West Ham's percentage of possession. Doesn't matter. We spanked Wolves 4-0 we what? I didn't say that. We spanked Wolves with exactly the same possession stats. We spanked Leicester with exactly the same possession stats earlier in the season as what we had the possession stats yesterday. I know, like you say, Cal, you don't like possession stats. I don't. I'd love to see us have 99% of the ball. But Gatesy loves to throw shit at me about, well, look at this, and then it's a 4-0 win with 12% possession and shit like that. So I've learned to shut my mouth on that one from now on. But
it's not about possession; it's what you do with it.
It's what you do with it. It's not how deep
bottom line.
It's not how deep you fish. It's how you wiggle your worm. So at the end of the day, we go again next week, and tomorrow's a new day, and I will wake up feeling positive about a result next week. Job done.
Fair enough. So, for those of you guys that are watching, if you would be kind enough, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Forge from Iron West Ham United. Drop a like on the video. You've also got on that banner going across the screen at the bottom, you've got all of our social media platforms. If you want to give us any feedback, if you want to give us any direct messages, tell us we're good, tell us we're crap, whatever, it's up to you. Not a problem. So thanks very much indeed for joining us. We know we're crap. That's fine. You don't need to tell us. We've worked that one
Organized chaos.
Yeah, it's what we specialise in. So thanks very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe. Andy, what are we, by the way?
We are fucking massive.
Correct.
There we go. And we're still fifth. We're still in the hunt. So
Yes.
come on, you Irons.
Come on,
Come on, you
Irons.